Hi there, so do you struggle with achieving that really pretty loose beach wave? Well, today I'm going to show you how to achieve it in 5 easy steps. First, I want to tell you the top things you need to look for in your hot tool. You want to make sure that your hot tool is always made from ceramic and is terminally infused with negative ions. This locks moisture and ensures you have no breakage or excess heat. You want to ensure that your hot tool has a temperature nozzle. This ensures that you're not using too high of heat or maybe too low of heat for what you're trying to achieve. You want to ensure you choose the right tool based off of the desired result. So I'm going to be using a 1 1/4 inch curling iron today because I feel like this is the best size to achieve those very loose, pretty, natural beach waves. So the other thing I want you to watch before you curl your hair is watch your temperature. If you have fine hair, ensure that the temperature nozzle on your hot tool is below 360 degrees. If you have medium textured hair, then ensure that your temperature nozzle does not go above 380 degrees. Only when you have very thick, coarse hair strands can your temperature nozzle go up to 400 degrees. I highly recommend never going above 400 degrees. That is just way too hot for your hair. Before you ever put any type of hot tool on your hair, whether it be a blow dryer or an actual iron, ensure that you're using a product that has heat protection up to 450 degrees. Ensure you have a wide tooth comb or brush in order to comb through your styling product. When you use any kind of styling product, it will stay exactly where you put it. So ensure you're always combing through your products thoroughly to ensure you get that same heat protection on every strand. Make sure you have the right styling clips. Make sure you're always sectioning your hair when you are styling with a hot tool. It is very difficult to achieve the desired look when you are attempting to curl a large area of your hair at the same time. So ensure you're using very clean and very accurate sections and dividing them with your hair clip to make sure that this is an easy, clean, organized experience. Okay, so I've gone ahead and applied my initial styling product in order to get some shine and health to my hair. And now I'm going to section my hair and show you how I'm going to use my heat protection product as I use each section. So you want to ensure that your first section is always from recession to recession and it's going all the way back to the crown of your hair, just like so. And you use the clip to hold them in place. Your second section is going to be from your top section down to just above your ear. And finally, your third section is going to be everything from below your ear down. Now, I generally start on one side of my head and work that area, and then I move to the other. So before you blow dry or you start curling or flat ironing your hair, always make sure you have very clean, organized sections. You want to ensure you're always using some type of heat protectant. Today I'm using Olay Thermal Stress Protector. So I'm going to spray my area of hair. I want to always ensure too that I am brushing it through thoroughly. This ensures that the product is distributed evenly to every strand, so every strand is in fact protected from the heat. So when trying to achieve your beach waves, use these 3 simple rules. So 1, the first thing you want to ensure is the hair closest to your face should always be curled away from your face. 2, always ensure that you're holding your product properly. If you do want to curl away from your face, I always say make sure you have your trigger facing the mirror and you're going to be curling away. This ensures that you don't curl the wrong direction over your iron and get the bend of the hot tool in your hair. Now the healthiest hair on your head is usually at your root area. The hair at the ends has been on your head and grown out over a period of maybe even years. So it's been through a lot more and it can't handle as much heat. So you always want to start at the top area of your hair. You also want to ensure you use small sections. I always say a square inch is the perfect size to achieve these beach waves. So first I'm going to start at the top area of my hair. So I'm going to slide in my curling iron. Again, my trigger finger is facing the mirror. I'm going to put it at the top area of my hair and I'm going to only curl it about 1.5 times. Now this area can sit with heat on it for much longer than the ends. Then I'm going to drag it down and have it touch the ends briefly and drag it down. And that's how you're gonna get that wave. You wanna ensure that you let it set. But the longer you let that area cool, then the longer that hairstyle is going to last. The other thing that you can make sure you do in order to make your waves look very natural, and I always say uncontrived, is after you've curled your hair away from your face around the front, you can actually start switching directions. So if you're going to curl your hair towards your face, then the thing you want to do now is you're going to use your thumb and you're going to ensure that your trigger is actually facing your face. So we're going to take that area and we're going to curl towards the base. again, we're going to let it cool. Now, if you have a hard time actually opening up the curling iron and letting your curling iron drag down towards the end, you could curl your hair and just slowly open up your nozzle and keep letting hair in. I'll show you how. So did you see the difference between that and here? I'm going to show you the other direction again. Again, I'm going to turn around my nozzle. Actually, now the nozzle is towards my face. And I'm just barely opening up the nozzle and letting the rest of the hair through. And that's it. And I'm going to let it cool as I move up to the next section. Okay, so I finished my second section. I'm going to keep letting that cool, but in the interim, I'm going to go ahead and spray it with a hairspray to help it set as well. I'm using Davines' Stronghold Hairspray. It's one of my favorites and it smells amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and spray my entire hair and just let it keep setting with this hairspray on it as I finish my last section. Now, many people at this point want to start dragging their fingers through their hair. Please do not do that. I want to let it set, and I'm going to show you how you're going to use a wide tooth comb or your aqua brush to brush it out at the end of the entire styling routine. At this point, I generally like to ensure wherever I'm going to be parting my hair is where I'm going to divide my hair into two sections. So I generally part my hair down the middle, so I'm going to go ahead and part it down the middle now, and then continue my curling based off of where I parted it. Now for the fringe area, I usually try to not curl it as tightly as I do the rest of my hair because I want it to look kind of like a little messy cheek bang, almost like a Bridget Bardot type curtain bang. So I'm going to show you that I'm going to really barely run my curling iron through it before I think I'm done with that section. I'm going to let it cool just like that, and it's going to end up being much looser around my fringe. So my hair is a little bit thicker, so I'm going to go ahead and divide my top section into two. That way I'm just ensuring that I'm always staying within a square inch section for each wave. Because I'm away from my face now, I'm going to actually curl it towards my face because I just want to shake things up a little bit. I always tell my clients, usually if somebody has natural waves, it's every strand is kind of curling different directions. So when you're trying to recreate that and look like your hair just naturally turns out like that because you just came running out of the ocean and it has these beautiful beach waves, then we want to make sure it doesn't look contrived or created with our hot tools. So we want to make sure it looks as natural as possible. That's why you want to switch directions. Another thing you can do for those of you that are really comfortable with the curling iron is you can switch up how you're using your curling iron. Now, if you keep the lip of your curling iron closed, it actually, in essence, becomes a curling rod, so you don't have to use your lever at all. At this point, you're going to wrap. So I can still use it to heat up, but as long as it's touching, this area is going to heat up as much as the rest of your iron. So I'm going to actually wrap the section. But just like when I'm using my regular close and open curling iron lever, I'm going to ensure I'm curling the area first that's closest to the root and only bringing in my ends at the very end for a brief second. And this is going to create kind of more of a spiral curl, so it's a little bit different. But again, mixing it up just means it looks even more natural. Let me show you that again. I'm going to take the curling iron, I'm going to leave my lever closed. I'm going to take my square inch section and I'm actually going to go close up to the root. Okay, this is just heating up your cuticle here, and you're going to wrap it just like so. You can leave that on there for a second, and then you're going to wrap the next section of hair. You're still leaving out your ends there, and then you're going to hit your ends just for a second, because again, your ends have been around for a while. It does not need as much heat for it to stay in the place that you want it to stay. and that's gonna create that more of a spiral type curl. We are now down to my last section, so I'm gonna go ahead and do another wrap curl, but I'm gonna show you how to do it towards your face. So it's the same thing that we just did, but instead of curling it from underneath, we're going to be curling it by having the iron come in front of your section. So when you're wrapping your hair away from your face, you always want to take your hot tool and put it behind your hair section. If you want to curl your hair towards your face, always ensure that your curling iron is in front of your section. Why? Because you're going to be wrapping towards the iron. So whatever direction you want the curl to go, you want to make sure that you're wrapping towards your curling iron in the same direction. So again, we're at our root area. You're going to leave this a little bit longer. Add your second mid area of your hair that is a little bit stronger but not quite as weak as your ends, and then you're just going to bring your ends in at the end, just like so for a second, and you're going to let it go. Sometimes because I really want it to sit and set in that curl, I'll actually like kind of hold it for a second. So pretty much we have finished both sections of hair. As I showed you a second ago, I sprayed this side with hairspray, so I want to do the same thing over here. Okay, so this makes sure I actually got the back of my head. Now, I can't really see what's going on back there, but if you grab your hair and make sure you're pulling it from every area and you're curling it forward, then you can still make sure that you've got that area of your head. Now, it is so imperative, make sure you're curling the back. I always say to my clients, you gotta look just as good going as you do coming. So ladies, one of my pet peeves is when you spend all this time making your hair look beautiful and you turn around and there's this big knot or hole in the back of your head. So make sure you have a mirror, a hand mirror, or something that you can look at the back of your head in the mirror before you leave the house to ensure, again, you look just as good going as you do coming. So for now that I've sprayed my hair, I want it to cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and go live my life for like 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna come back and show you how we're gonna comb through these curls. Okay, I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so you always want to use a wide tooth comb or something like our Tangle Teaser half paddle. Now this is a very light, easy brush. I wouldn't recommend it for just being your regular detangling brush. I always recommend a wet brush for something like that. But to brush through your curls, this thing is like your best friend. So I'm gonna show you what you're gonna do after you've completely cooled. Okay, so see how it's really, I know it seems scary to brush through your hair after you've curled it, but it will hold. You know why? Because we set it. We used a thermal protecting spray, we used our hot tool, and then we sprayed it with hairspray, and we left it alone. So the last thing you want to do when you're curling your hair is to curl this section and immediately start dragging it down. That's going to loosen up the wave. Okay, so now I'm going to brush the other side. And the more you play with it, it's actually going to keep forming a pretty wave. And what I love about the Style hairspray is it actually adds more shine. So this can actually kind of start to form your curl as well. Okay, just as good going. Do I look like I got every part? Okay, I'll check this in the mirror in the back in a minute before I leave the house, as you should. So that's it, ladies. I hope this helps you be able to achieve those really easy beach waves at home. Please always contact us at www.shopnorthauthentic.com if you have any questions. We're here to ensure that you invest in only the right hair products and tools for you. Okay, thanks so much. Bye.